Hello everybody, how is it going? So, today, we're just going to quickly be discussing the ban list, or unrestrictions I should say. They announced this today. They're unbanning Nami, Radical Beam, both the Leader Newgate and the 9-drop Newgate, Dadan, and both Marcos. Personally, I think that this is a good change. I'm happy about it because according to the OCG, data and stuff, red is nowhere near as oppressive as it was in these past couple formats, and I think it'll be nice to have the red decks at full power to play against all the new decks that are coming. And I think the biggest winner of this is definitely, it's definitely red green law, but it's also red purple Luffy. Being a new deck that's coming out, being like the main deck that plays Gear 5 Luffy. I don't really think any of the other purple decks play it. So it's cool that, they got their 4 Newgates back. They got all the Radical Beams back. So that's awesome. I'm happy that deck's going to be good because I feel like it's the only red deck, again, maybe outside of red purple law or red green law, that has seen results in the OCG. So those decks being at full power is definitely nice to see. Obviously, it's cool having 4 blocker Marco back. People like playing Ace. That's great for them. Ace is finally out of the crossfire of red decks being hit. So if you like Ace, you can play him now with the 4 Marcos, the 4 Newgates. That's awesome. But all around, I think the changes are good. I feel like the only reason you'd be against this is if you just don't like playing against red, which, fair enough, but all the new decks seem to do pretty well against red. And if you really don't like playing against like Law or Zoro, you can just play Sakazuki, and Lucci just trades infinite with that deck. So yeah, outside of that, thinking, I honestly, I'm still a little bit like off-putted by like the late ban list they put out. I kind of wish they didn't do that, but I think that this is a step in the right direction. Just letting us play this format out, seeing, what we find is good. I imagine it's still going to be kind of similar to the OCG meta. They obviously have had cards a couple months before us, so they get a lot more time to test, and they kind of figure out the format before we get it. In a way, I don't like that, but I feel like these red cards being banned wouldn't have affected our meta at all, because over there, red really isn't meta. And that's, with them having all this unbanned, but, now that we have it unbanned, like, that's cool, but I still think most of the new decks are going to be doing really well. I still think Sakazuki will probably be the best deck, but obviously Purple Luffy, NL, now Red Purple Luffy are all going to be very strong, and, I feel like these cards being on the list for this format, they didn't need to stay there. Your decks that you want to play should be playable, even if, they're not going to necessarily be as strong into the meta as they were. And I think that's good. But, that's really all. I'll see you guys in the next one.